The young man before you is Michael Dalabo in his late 20s. Michael Dalabo hails from River State. He holds an OND in computer science from Federal Polytechnic, Nekede. And for a couple of years, he has been luring women on the social media handles and taking advantage of these women. Before his arrest, he has been very active on the Instagram. He bears the name Flourishing Josephine on Instagram. He presents himself as a pretty young woman, an entrepreneur, and as a lady that has got contacts with the strong, the rich, and the mighty. He's a lone ranger and a one-man gang and runs all his deals all by himself. Flourishing Josephine on Instagram reaches out to young women, and sometimes they reach out to him directly. And having satisfied the young ladies that he has got the contacts, he will refer them to his agent called Clarkson, a role that he equally plays. So by the time you are talking to Clarkson, an agent of Flourishing Josephine, you are still talking to the man behind Flourishing Josephine. And at this juncture, he will probably tell you about big shots in the oil and gas industry, Shell, Chevron, Ajib, politicians, and other big names, sometimes promising the girls as much as $10,000 for a one-night stand. He makes his money by asking for connection fees. Before his arrest, a young lady paid him a sum of 300,000 naira as connection fee, believing that she was going to get $10,000 from the man she is planning to meet. Eventually, you meet the client. The lady eventually meets the client, who equally turns out to be Flourishing Josephine, Clarkson, Michael Delabo, same person. And before you meet Michael, who now presents himself as the final big boy, you must have sent in some nude pictures and some nude videos. Eventually the lady meets Michael, and after the deals, after the sexual intercourse, Michael will step out and leave you stranded in the hotel. The next call you will get from Michael will be the second phase of the crime, which is a blackmail. Michael will ask for money, ranging from 500,000 to 1 million or even above, threatening that if you fail to pay, your nude videos and nude pictures will be uploaded online. The last victim that Michael had interaction with before his arrest actually paid 800,000 naira to avoid, to save herself from being published on the internet. So from that single transaction, Michael, alias Flourishing Josephine, alias Clarkson, made a sum of 1.1 million naira.
My name is Michael Dalabo. I'm from Rivers State. My name is Michael Dalabo. I'm from Rivers State. I will be 23 on the 8th of September. So I've been into this Instagram for several years, and so I meet females online and I tell them about hookup. So when they accept, they pay connection fee, they pay their flight from wherever they are to Port Harcourt, they pay hotel and everything. After having sex, I leave them stranded in the hotel and run away. So some of them, they will call me, I will tell them I'm no more interested, it's a scam. So some of them, I will not tell them they should send money for me to delete their nude pictures. So that is it for all now.
How much do you charge? Do you drug them?
No, I don't drug anybody.
How much do you ask them to bring as ransom?
No specific amount. Some pay 100, some 50, some. Like the girl that made them arrested me, she sent 300,000.
All your victims must sleep with them.
Not all.
So those your victims, you don't know who is pregnant and
No, ma. Flourishing Josephine.
I think you need to understand something. He doesn't need to drug them to sleep with him. This guy presents himself as Flourishing Josephine on Instagram. Once you have cut out a deal with him, he will refer you to his agent called Clarkson, who is still Flourishing Josephine. And then Clarkson, at this stage, once the deal is consummated, you pay a connection fee. You are giving someone who is probably a big boy in Shell, a big boy in any other oil company, or even a big political player, and then you are promised $10,000. You fly in, you buy your ticket, because the money being paid to you is much. The last victim, what happened to the last victim? Did she buy her ticket?
Yeah, she bought her ticket.
She flew from where to where?
From Abuja to Port Harcourt.
She flew from Abuja to Port Harcourt.
Yes,
Who paid for the
she
hotel?
was one that paid for the hotel.
Now, at this stage, you are in a hotel, you are waiting for the big boy, and then Flourishing Josephine, dressed properly, now walks in. So this is the final stage of the job. So he comes in now as engineer
Roland.
Engineer Williams, engineer Abedi, and any other thing. So he walks in and he introduces himself. Oh, I'm the one that Clarkson told you about. And then the deal goes on.
Yes,
True or false?
True.
So at this stage, he doesn't need to drug you. There is what you call consensus addendum. And then they go on and have their sexual intercourse or whatever they want to do. And thereafter, he steps out and says things like, He's a big boy, so he said he wanted to pick up something from the car, and then he elopes. And from that moment, he goes to the second stage of the crime, which is the blackmail. Is that correct?
True, sir.
Thank you. You can talk to him later. In his interaction with detectives from the STS, Michael actually said he has had over 1,000 female victims. Our advice to young women out there is that they should be wary of who they deal with and what they believe online. A lot of the narratives you see online are not what they claim to be. A lot of the stories, images online are what they are: fake, false, and sometimes total disinformation and misinformation. Young women should understand that there are no better ways of making money than legitimately working, and working very hard. There are no elevators to success. You must walk the stairs. And if you must meet a man who is an online date for the first time, we advise very strongly that you do that within your space of strength. If you must meet a man that you've never met before, a man you met online, we also advise that you probably go with a friend. We will also be glad to hear from past victims of Michael Dolabo, and will promise to treat you and treat your story confidentially. We have his phones with us. We are currently, our cyber experts and technical intelligence experts are analyzing the phones. So far, we have seen hundreds and hundreds of nude videos and nude pictures. We will treat these pieces of information confidentially. And if you're out there and you've been exploited by Michael Dolabo, you've been exploited by Flourishing Josephine, please speak to me confidentially. We will treat everything you tell us confidentially. At this juncture, we'll pass the mic to Michael, Flourishing Josephine,